Hi, team. This is George. Welcome to week 5. Can you believe it? This time has just been flying by. So I appreciate all the effort that you've been putting into our class, and I hope you've been getting a lot from it as well. Our discussions have been going deep, which I appreciate that. And this week we're going to be talking about a family. It's going to be a father who was just widowed. He's got a adolescent son and 2 daughters, and we're going to be looking at some basic family therapies, and we're going to try to correlate it to this family. And obviously, as you can tell just by the scenario that's painted here, uh, that the grieving and having difficulty with that grieving part is quite normal because, I mean, everything has just been thrown completely into the air, and everything is there. There's no familiarity, there's no grounding at this point. So we want to look at these basic family therapies and suggest other resources and just kind of see how they pertain to this family. So it's going to be an interesting week of discussion. So let's just think from that perspective and what would help them the best. As you can see it here, what approach would you take this week? And what makes this an effective approach? So what approach and why? Why does it matter? Why will it help? Sort of thing. So it's going to be an interesting um, focus on the family. It's been recently widowed. That's tough in general. So and then you had two elementary girls and an adolescent boy, so a teenage boy. They're all going to experience it a little bit differently. So there's a lot of things going on with the family process. So let's jump in and help them figure this out. And also another part is remember to continue working on your final project. This is going to be Google Slides or PowerPoint. You've probably already set up your VoiceThread account. If not, go ahead and jump in just to kind of practice with it and make sure that everything is usable for you. The last thing you want to have happen is when you're going to make your final project and the VoiceThread is giving you issues. That's the last thing you want. So you want to be pretty familiar with it prior to doing that. That'll just reduce the stress level way down. And for me, if I was doing this myself, I would absolutely, these would be the titles of my slides: summary, research, application, results. That would be it right there. Those would be the titles of my slides. Doesn't mean it would be one slide for each, but each one I would make sure that the person reading this, so in this case it's me, knows exactly what I'm talking about within the ramifications of the research here. So you can title it, you can have all the information. So you can have 10 slides that are, well, not 10, but you can have multiple slides that are summary of an intervention, the research supporting its efficacy. And I'm going to challenge you too. So since this is a voice thread and we get to speak, I would like to see how you're going to create this in terms of not just making it a bunch of words on slides. Make it something that people can connect with. So don't think of just me. Think about the population that you're talking with and what would connect to them. So think about how we can make a connection. It could be graphics, could be using icons for different points. There's all kinds of possibilities. Now the content you can put in the notes on the bottom. That's where the heavy material goes. The slide is just something to connect with. So I want you to think about it from that perspective. So you do have permission to get a little bit creative. The content is going to be what you say, and then the notes um, that aren't on the visible part of the slide, like PowerPoint, you can put notes in, and it doesn't take up room on your slide. You can put as many notes as you want. So think about it from that perspective. So the voice and the notes are going to be where the content goes. Think about how you can make a connection within that slide itself. And sometimes that's not always easy. That's easier said than done. So think about what would work best. So I don't want to push in any one certain direction. I want you to see where it's led to create that connection. So think about it. Think about what would create those connections and have some fun with it, enjoy it. So have a great week, and I'll see you on the discussion boards.